To be grateful is to recognize the love of God in everything He has given us, and He has given us everything. Every breath we draw is a gift of His love. Every moment of existence is a grace, for it brings with it immense graces from Him. Gratitude, therefore, takes nothing for granted, is never unresponsive, is constantly awakening to new wonder and to praise of the goodness of God. For the grateful person knows that God is good, not by hearsay, but by experience. And that is what makes all the difference. Rejoice always, pray continually, and give thanks in all circumstances. As Emerson says, prayer is the contemplation of the facts of life from the highest point of view. And he also says in one of his writings is, every thought is a prayer, and every prayer is answered. And so we are creating, the genesis of everything is a thought. That thought is a prayer. It's taking place in our mind, and it's a skill to practice that, to reflect. And it may look like saying, I'm not going to dwell on the past, but only look in gratefulness. I'm not going to worry about the future, but think only in possibility. And I'm not going to withdraw or withhold in the present, but to practice openness and curiosity and a willingness for novelty in our life. And the first skill is this. It's to do something, to create something, to commit yourself to bring something in the world. Maybe that's being a good parent. Maybe that's building a garden. For each of us, this is our vocation, right? This is our call. And it's something that we find that we enjoy, that we love. It's to create something. And the second skill is this, is what he calls to find a level of redemption or good in the suffering. So let me give an example. We've all been on lockdown. We're heading towards another lockdown, it seems. And so our worlds become very small. Yes, this is a sacrifice, but there's good that comes from this. We can slow down. The earth has a chance to sort of catch its breath. We have a sense to catch our breath. We can slow down. Another one is this, there's perhaps we want to get into a more healthy lifestyle, and it means letting go of things like sugar. Yeah, it's suffering, but there's a good that comes out of that suffering. So think of yourself right now, things that you're sort of struggling with. Is there a good that comes from these? And finally, the third is this, is to be in community, to be with people that see you, love you, support you. They see you, they celebrate you, they serve you, and allow you to give the same thing. And that when we practice these three things, we find meaning in our life. Kurt, at the very beginning of our celebration, gave this amazing reading from Thomas Merton. And he and I share this deep love of this great American mystic and prophet and this prolific writer. And he talks about how gratitude creates the space for newness in our life. Because when we are grateful, it clears the lens so that we can see differently. When we create and practice gratefulness, then we engage in something and we realize how precious life is and that there is a giver of the gift of life. And we want to give back, we want to do. We also realize in the practice of gratefulness that even when we're uncomfortable, even when we suffer, even when we look at things, there's a good that can come from this. Self-reflection is not easy work. It's tough, but there's something that's great that comes from that. And then being in community. What a great experience to give and receive love. So as our practice today, I'm going to invite you to look at these three things. What can you create? What are you giving to the world? How can you find good in the sacrifice or the suffering that you may experience? And who is your community? And how are you contributing to that community?